Hey everyone, I am Billy Price, co-founder of Billy Footwear, and we're here today with another episode of Open Book. With Open Book, it's an opportunity for us as a brand to share kind of what the brand's doing, share a little bit of our origin story, but also an opportunity to share the stories of others, our amazing customers, our amazing supporters, the amazing folks that we have the opportunity to collaborate with. So today we are super honored. We have Becca and Elijah with Blessed Life with Elijah. So welcome you two to Open Book.
Thank you so much. We're happy to be here.
So Becca, we had a little bit of a conversation before this live showing here, and your story is an incredibly powerful one. Elijah's story is an incredibly powerful one. And I think just to open this thing up, I was hoping you could share with me and then also our guests how you and Elijah got connected.
Absolutely. So in 2022, I got a phone call as a nursing supervisor trying to find nursing care for a kid they were trying to place in foster care. And that was not an option. We didn't have it. So the person calling knows me personally and asked if I would be willing to reopen my foster license and take him in so he could have both a nurse and a parent. We talked about it for about less than an hour, agreed to it, and started the process. And he ended up with us December of 22. So that's kind of how we met and took off from there. We were told it was end of life care we would be providing. So we knew there wasn't a whole lot we were going to be able to do for him, but provide, a home and comfort while he's going through this process. There was hospice involved, everybody along those lines, trying to keep him comfortable. And here we are 2 years later, proving everybody wrong that gave up on him, or seemed to have given up on him just because there was no idea what to do next. So that's kind of how we met.
Wow. Well, that's incredible. I mean, I really want to dig in more on Elijah, but just some background here. So it sounds like you were a foster parent before. When did that start?
We did.
Foster parent.
We started fostering process end of 2018, beginning of 2019. We had a really difficult first placement that just made us second guess. I don't think we want to do this. This doesn't feel like it's for us. Lots of therapy came with that. And we kind of let that chapter go. And then, so it took a lot of really, truly digging deep. Do we want to give this avenue another shot? And to me, Elijah's story kind of just pierced at me as a nurse. And I wanted to be able to provide that for him. And my husband just said, as long as you understand, this is going to be really hard, we can do it. So.
Wow. Well, you also mentioned nursing. How did you get into nursing? What inspired you?
Oh, man. I have wanted to be a nurse since I was probably in high school. I did CNA classes. I thought about doing the doctor route, then found out quickly that was not for me. And so I just kept plugging away. It was not easy road for me. It took me a very long time to complete. I had a lot of bumps in the road, but I finally did it. And I've done all kinds of nursing, from ICU to, clinics, bedside with kiddos, with adults. And Elijah is by far my favorite job I've ever had. Mm-hmm. He's the best.
Wow. Well, that's isn't the saying, being a parent's the hardest job you'll ever love?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I'd love to learn more about Elijah. I mean, because I think on his journey, there's been some misdiagnosis, and I'd love for you to be able to touch on that so we can learn some more.
Oh yeah. So Elijah's presentation to the naked eye appears like cerebral palsy. They called him spastic quad cerebral palsy. So it does affect all four limbs. He has all the typical signs, but there was just something that was off, that didn't quite meet. And the neurologist kindly, when we were trying to reestablish care with all of his providers during that first initial foster process, did an MRI of his brain, and we found out that he didn't quite match what they were seeing. So he looked a lot different than what they were seeing on the scans. He even went to the extreme and said, all I see is he should have a little trouble walking, and that's it. And for Elijah, he's nonverbal. He is G-tube, at one point J-tube dependent. He's got epilepsy. He has, completely immobile. And so we were like, okay, this doesn't match, got all these issues. And so he asked if he could do a little more digging with genetics. Unfortunately, genetics is extremely hard to get into. I don't know if it's everywhere, but I know in Colorado, it took us over a year to get there. Finally got in, took about 2 months almost to get our results back. And he actually does not have cerebral palsy. He has a very rare condition called Allen-Herndon-Dudley syndrome. Less than 1,000 documented cases worldwide. And it could have potentially been a totally different story for him had the testing happened earlier in life. Luckily, they are doing a clinical trial right now that they have accepted Elijah into, and we actually go there next week to start the process. But they are showing with his diagnoses, if you can find this out earlier in life before the brain fully develops, and you get this treatment, then you could potentially not have all the delays and issues that he has, and can help prevent that from happening. So our hope is to, be able to be a part of that, figuring out, is this going to work for people? And if it does, what can it do so other people can have a different story?
Yeah. Well, I know you're sharing your journey. I was going to bring up your social handle right here. Blessed Life with Elijah. So those that are listening in or watching, on the screen right here, we have their social handle, which is at Blessed Life with Elijah. I'll spell it out: BLESSEDLIFEWITHELIJAH. So I might be leaping to a conclusion here, Becca, but through your sharing on social, is it a matter of, is this the means of trying to generate awareness to help empower like the movement to help others?
Yeah, absolutely. Elijah has had so many things happen in his life. And like I said, it felt like a lot of people had given up on him, even if they weren't showing it that way. That's the way it kind of came across. And so I often question, what would have happened if we would have said no? If my husband and I would have said no and not taken him, would he still be here? We were told, we might get a month out of him, we might not, we don't know. And like I said, 2 years later, here we are. And so part of our goal with this social media platform is to share awareness for his disorder and the treatments we're doing, the therapies we're doing, to inspire others to, if your kid looks like Elijah, acts like Elijah, maybe go that extra mile and ask for that genetic testing. See if your kid does have something else going on. I mean, that gut feeling is always, the best thing to go off of, especially as a parent, and kind of just push the envelope and see. But on top of that, we hope to spread awareness to get people interested in learning more and becoming foster parents who can care for kids like him and give them a fighting chance to succeed in life and enjoy life. We've come in contact with some of the most amazing people in our community who are doing similar things with their kids, and we're learning so much. Elijah loves to go outside and hike. So we worked on getting him what they call a huckleberry hiking chair. And we raised money, got one of those in, and we're so excited to try to use it. He loves roller skating rinks. He loves bowling. He loves fishing. Anything we can go and do that's a normal kid thing, most of the time he loves it. And so we want to kind of put out there, hey, these kids are regular kids with these big loves and goals, and we want to show you, you can do that, and you can give it to them and help provide that for them, and do it for as long as you get the pleasure of having them in your life.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I mean, and you're in Colorado, you said, right?
Yes.
Colorado is, there's a lot of stuff going on in Colorado, especially outdoors wise. There's so many so many activities. So, when you're out, engaging in the outdoors, is it, are you working as, like family, like kind of independent, or are you actually latching on to some of the adaptive type programs that are in Colorado?
We did our first hike through a organization called Luke 5 Adventures. They provide a way for adults and kids to have a chair that is guided by volunteers to go through the trails. And then I actually, through social media, met somebody who lived locally who had a huckleberry chair. And they've actually become very quick, good friends of ours. And they let us trial it. And Elijah was devastated when I took him out of it to let somebody else try it. I got the pouty face and everything. Like, he was not okay with it. But we've partnered alongside with other organizations locally. There's a group in our area called Cool Cats that give us options to try out different handicap accessible bikes. And we were able to get one funded for him. That's a tricycle that he gets the movement and the therapy from it, but he gets the wind in his face. He gets to ride a bike. He gets to enjoy it. We have gotten to, be involved in fishing and hiking. And the Cool Cats also did bowling once a month for special needs families. And so you get to meet all these different special needs families and enjoy a normal night as a family and let them feel completely included. And so that was a big start for us, learning about what's out there and taking a deeper dive.
Wow. Well, I love it. I absolutely love it. That's, I use a wheelchair. I broke my neck when I was a teenager, and my world changed significantly. And I remember I really enjoyed skiing, and I wanted to get back on the mountain, and I went to Colorado. I'm out of Seattle, but Colorado had the resources to be able to have those outdoor activities that could, I could tap into like a program that already existed to be able to get back on the ski slope. So you were in a beautiful, beautiful state to be able to get out there and be active for sure.
That was our hope for this winter, was to try to get him into the adaptive skiing program and see how he enjoys that, because he thinks the wind in his face is the funniest thing on earth, and he will just giggle and giggle. And you're sitting here pushing with all your might, trying to get him up a hill, and the wind is blowing at you, and he just thinks it's funny. And you're like, okay, it's funny, but I'm kind of dying. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I want to be respectful of both of your time. Boy, this has just been an awesome conversation. But I do have one more question, because, Open Book, you're in Colorado, but there's a lot of other folks out there that are going to be listening in from like well outside Colorado. Yeah. And it's kind of a two-part thing. One is there a particular message? I know you touched on a lot of things about encouraging those to be foster parents and just stretching themselves. But I was curious to know if there's one just kind of final message you can have for those listening in. But in addition to that, if there's a way that they can help, because they have the URL, or not the URL, but they have the social handle to be able to follow you guys. But if there's anything from their end outside of Colorado, they can kind of help drive what you guys are doing.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing, honestly, when it comes to help, is just following and sharing with anybody you know. In my opinion, and I'm a little biased, Elijah has a very unique and remarkable story. And I did make a longer video that kind of shares that. And I'd love for everybody to go and watch it and kind of get a better, closer look at what we've gone through over the last 2 years. But also just to spread awareness, to help these kids get the life they deserve, and not allow people to give up on them, and find your voice and fight for it. Because if you're like me, I'm new to being a parent from it, but I've been on the nursing side of it for a while. And the advocacy is so different from the parent side than it is from the nursing side. And find your people, find your village, and make it the most blessed life you can.
Oh my goodness, Becca, so well said. So well said. Absolutely beautiful. So again, this is Becca. This is Elijah. Check them out on social. I'll read it off once more. It's at Blessed Life with Elijah. It's BLESSEDLIFEWITHELIJAH. Well, you guys, thank you so much again for your time.
Thank you so much. Say bye-bye.
Everyone else out there, this was another episode of Open Book. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. And we'll have another one again real soon. So until then, take care.